The city slept. Its heart still beat, but slowly. Except for a few flickering streetlights, darkness draped the urban landscape. The old train station stood forgotten. Its grand arches, once bustling with life, were now cloaked in shadows. Dust and silence hung heavy in the air. The only sound was the wind whistling through broken window panes. It was the lonely, mournful cry of a forgotten giant. The station clock, frozen at 11:59 for years, was a stark reminder of time's relentless march. The tracks, rusted and overgrown with weeds, stretched into the darkness like grasping claws. They whispered of journeys never finished, of stories left untold. The station was a graveyard of memories.
I've missed the last train.
Emily hurried through the echoing silence. Her heart pounded in her chest. She had missed the last train.
The last train has departed.
The announcement echoed in her ears, mocking her with its finality. The words sent a shiver down her spine. Panic welled up inside her. She was alone. The station was deserted. Empty platforms stretched out before her like ghostly invitations. Each shadow seemed to writhe and twist, whispering her name. Emily hugged herself, trying to ward off the growing chill. The air itself felt heavy with unseen eyes. She glanced at her watch, its ticking the only sound in the vast emptiness. Midnight, the witching hour. The thought sent a fresh wave of fear through her. She needed to get out of here, but where could she go? She was trapped. A low rumble echoed from the tunnel's mouth. Emily froze. Her breath caught in her throat. The rumble grew louder, accompanied by a rhythmic chugging. Impossible. The last train had already left, hadn't it? She strained her ears, listening. Her pulse quickened with each passing second. A thick fog began to seep from the tunnel's entrance. It swirled and danced, creeping across the platform like a living thing. The air grew colder, thick with an unnatural chill. Emily could have sworn she heard whispers carried on the breeze, whispers without voices, whispers that sent shivers down her spine. The fog parted, revealing the source of the sound. A train. But not just any train. This one was old. Its paint peeling, its windows glowing with an unnatural light. An ethereal whistle pierced the night, sending a jolt of fear through Emily's heart. This was not her train.
This can't be happening.
The train screeched to a halt. Its ghostly form seemed to shimmer in the eerie glow of the station lights. The air hissed as if releasing a held breath.
This is wrong. All of this is wrong.
Emily stood frozen, torn between fear and a strange magnetic pull towards the train. The train's doors slid open with a groan. Each car was dimly lit, revealing shadowy figures seated within. They seemed to be frozen in time, their faces etched with a mixture of sadness and longing. Emily hesitated. She should run, she should scream, but her feet wouldn't move.
I should run. I should scream.
Hesitantly, she boarded the train. The door slammed shut behind her with a resounding clang as if sealing her fate. The train lurched forward, picking up speed with an unnatural swiftness. Emily was trapped on a phantom train hurtling towards an unknown destination. The train car was filled with an eerie silence. Only the rhythmic clatter of the wheels on the tracks broke the stillness. Emily sat alone, her heart pounding against her ribs. She glanced at the other passengers, their faces pale and lifeless in the dim light. A faded newspaper lay on the seat beside her, dated 1924. It told of a tragic train accident, the same train, the same date. A cold shiver ran down her spine. The air crackled with whispers, fragments of conversations long past. She heard stories of love and loss, of dreams shattered and lives cut short.
What is this? This can't be real.
Emily felt a presence beside her. A cold breath tickled her ear. She turned slowly, her heart threatening to leap out of her chest.
We've been waiting for you.
A young man in a faded uniform sat beside her, his face a mask of eternal sorrow. He reached out a hand, his touch icy cold.
Don't be afraid. We've all been waiting for you.
Emily recoiled in horror. His words confirmed her worst fears. This was no ordinary train. She was trapped with the ghosts of a forgotten tragedy. Panic surged through her. She had to escape. She scrambled towards the door, but it wouldn't budge. It was locked. She rattled the handle, her heart hammering against her ribs, but it was no use. She was a prisoner in this spectral express.
No, 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 I need to get out of here.
The train rattled on, its whistle a mournful cry in the night. Emily sank to the floor, tears streaming down her face. She was lost, trapped in a realm between the living and the dead. The ghostly passengers watched her, their eyes filled with a mixture of pity and despair. They knew her fate. She was one of them now, forever bound to the Phantom Express. The train roared into the darkness, its whistle echoing through the night, a chilling reminder that some journeys never end, and some stations are best left forgotten.